sun is shining, the earth is smiling, the air is clear. Blue skies are up above me, it's really lovely this time of year. Listen, the birds are singing, a new beginning is in the air. Shake off that winter feeling and go freewheeling, the spring is here. Wake up, the sun is shining, the earth is smiling, the air is clear. Blue skies are up above me, it's really lovely this time of year.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our second assembly on the theme of spring. If ever there was a season worth celebrating, it would be spring, the season of hope. And we've all got so much hope to look forward to, so much hope in our hearts at the moment. Hope for better times, times when we can go where we want to go and see who we want to see and play outside in the summer months. And we've got all of our fingers crossed that it will be the case for us this year. So I said I would start each spring assembly with a spring poem. So I've gone back to my book, my lovely big book, and today's poem, before today's story, which is a cracker, I have to tell you. It's a new book for me, so I've just had a read through of it now and it's really good. It's called, this one here, turn it round. It's all about new plants and new lives. There's what's happening above the ground. We're starting to see new shoots. There's what's happening below the ground. Year one, I know you were collecting mini beasts and found lots of worms and slugs last week. Today's poem on the 23rd of March is called A Spike of Green. Here it is. When I went out, the sun was hot. It shone upon my flower pot. And there I saw a spike of green that no one else had ever seen. On other days, the things I see are mostly old, except for me. But this green spike, so new and small, had never yet been seen at all. And that one's just capturing the wonder of new plants and new life growing from the ground. Okay, so I promise you a great story. It is a good story. It's new to me, new to you possibly. You may have this book. It's called Little Bear's Spring. Now, we don't have bears in this country. They don't live in the UK, in the United Kingdom. But they do live in places like America, North America and Canada and other places, quite a few other places. And they're one of the animals who hibernate during the winter time. And so this story is all about Little Bear waking up just a little bit too early and thinking that it might be spring, and I think it's his first spring. He's never experienced spring before, so he doesn't know what to expect. Little Bear's Spring. And the first page really reminds me of my painting with those kind of pink tinged mountains and the fir trees. Look. Similar. So maybe I was right to think that my painting reminded me of spring. Let's see what happens to Little Bear. One day, when the snow still lay hard on the ground, a bear cub woke up and he looked all around. There were no other creatures to see there at all. How vast the world seemed, and the bear felt so small. He's woken up too early, hasn't he? I think it's still winter. Let's see what happens. Is anyone out there? The little cub cried, but no, the wind whispered, and no, the snow sighed. The bear said, there's only this little round stone. It looks rather lost and sad and alone. But when the bear picked it up, the stone from the slope, it felt warm like a promise and smooth like new hope. The bear said, dear stone, now at least I've got you. I'll keep you beside me, whatever I do. And he tucked it in tight to the fur on his back and went lippity-loppity off down the track. At least he's managed to find a stone. Oh, there's a clue there. It felt warm like a promise and smooth like a stone. The bear with his stone trudged for miles here and there till he spotted some birds in that wide empty air. "Birds," he called out, "will you please come and play?" But the birds said, "We're busy, as spring's on its way." "Oh," the bear muttered, "so what is the spring?" "Spring," said the birds, "is a magical thing. The sun shimmers out through the cold winter's gloom, and the buds open up and burst forth into bloom." Have a look. This is what I was telling you yesterday. The birds in our story today have started to collect twigs for their nests, just like they have where I live. "Oh," said the bear, "I could help build a nest." But although the bear tried, his attempts weren't the best. So the bear lolloped off down the track all alone, saying, "Oh well, at least I have you, dear stone." There he is trying to build a nest. It's not as good as the birds are at it. Onwards they tramped till they came to a place where a family of hares were all having a race. "Hares," the bear called, "will you please play with me?" But the hares said, "We're busy, spring's near, can't you see?" "Oh," the bear muttered, "but what is the spring?" "Spring," said the hares, "is a beautiful thing. The air throbs and thrums with the hum of the bees, and the sky comes alive in the warm wafting breeze." "Oh," said the bear, "I could learn how to leap." But although the bear tried, he just fell in a heap. So all the animals that have been here before all know what to look forward to in spring. So the bear lolloped off down the track all alone, saying, "Oh well, at least I have you, dear stone." Then they trudged once again as the sun sank low, till they came to some wolves slinking off down the snow. You can tell it's not set in the United Kingdom, in England, Scotland or Wales, can't you? Because we don't have wolves either in this country. But again, they live in North America, Canada, so maybe it's set there. "Wolves," said the bear, "can I join you tonight?" "Oh yes," growled the wolves, "as the spring is in sight." "Oh good," the bear stammered, "but what is the spring?" "Spring," said the wolves, "is a wonderful thing. After long hungry months we find nice things to eat. Now come nearer, my dear, you look ever so sweet." Oh dear. I know the wolves are hungry, but I hope Bear manages to escape. Then the bear, feeling scared, quickly fled up a tree, where he sighed to himself, "Maybe spring's not for me. Spring should be happy, but I'm so alone, and all that I have is my little round stone." But when the bear reached for the stone on his back, it slipped and it tumbled, and the cub saw a crack. "Oh, stone," said the bear, "you're no good anymore." And he kicked it away on the soft forest floor. Inside he felt empty and lonely and lost, as bleak as the sky and as cold as the frost. Then the bear lolloped off, but he shivered in fright, for where was the track in the black of the night? So cradled in starlight he slumped down to sleep, until the next morning he heard a loud cheep. It looks like all of a sudden spring has come, and it also looks like all of a sudden he wasn't carrying a stone. Did you work it out? When it smelt warm, or when it felt warm and full of promise, it was actually an egg that he'd found and he'd been carrying with him all the time. Look at those beautiful colours of spring. And there's the bear, finally getting to see what spring is all about. Oh, I've skipped a page there, just a moment. Here we go. "Oh," the bear cried, "why, I thought stones were dead, but I got it all wrong, you're living," he said. Then the breeze softly breathed and the sun shone down bright, and all of a sudden the world felt so right. "Friend," the bear said, "maybe you'll come and play." So that is what they did for the rest of the day. Then the bear and his friends, snuggled tight on his back, went lippity-loppity off down the track, and as they walked onward, his heart seemed to sing with the magical wonderful joy of the spring. Have a look at all that life, that new life that's happening. And the bear finally realising what everybody was so excited about. And there's the final page. Looks like the other bears have come out of hibernation there on the hills, down by the lakes. And there's Bear and his new friend, some kind of bird. Now, before you all get worried, I need to just say this. The eggs that you buy from the supermarket will not have birds in them. To make an egg with a bird in, you need hens and cockerels, okay? So the hens that lay these eggs are kept apart from the cockerels, so they produce the eggs that we eat. But you might keep hens and you might keep cockerels, so you might have eggs that actually do hatch into chickens. And certainly in reception, some of you will have remembered from when you were in reception, we get special eggs sometimes at this time of the year, which we do see hatch. So they have been fertilised. So there we go. Don't worry about your eggs. So there we go, a gorgeous spring story. I really, really, really hope you enjoyed it. I loved it. I'm going to put that out on display on my new spring display. And I hope that's filled you full of the joys of spring and helped you to have a good start to a happy Tuesday. So bye for now, everybody.